case you haven't noticed, I have a very, very deep voice. Very deep voice, thank you. My testosterone is so strong that I can impregnate men if they sit too close to me for too long. So you and I, this whole damn area right here. I'm not paying any child support though. It's so powerful. The voice is so powerful that I have to do sign language from down here, because if I do it from up here, it'll hurt their ears. It also causes erectile dysfunction in dildos, but the ladies dig it. The ladies dig it. They say it's better than 50 Shades of Grey. It's more like 50 Shades of Hey. It's true. It's true. It's true. And it often gets me in some very, very sticky situations. Bring. It's a landline. Hello? Mr. Jeter? This is. You're 90 days delinquent on your account. We're gonna have to come for your car. Baby, I want you to come for the car. Well, Mr. Jeter, maybe we can work out some kind of extension? Ooh, mama. I just love it when I get extended. Look, Mr. Jeter, you keep the car, I'll make the payments for you. Just call me. Actually, earlier today, paid up through September. It's all right. It's all right. Now, because of this voice, it's enabled me to produce 4 beautiful children, have 3 in their 20s, 1 little 4-year-old. Thank you for clapping for my sperm. And it's beautiful sperm. It's beautiful. I'll show you later. And
wait a minute.
Under dark light, under black light. And my oldest son had a pretty cool job he's excited about. He was a counselor at a camp for Jewish kids. Now, much like this gentleman right here, when he told me this, I could not contain my laughter, because I would think that a camp would be the last place that a Jew would ever want to send another Jew. The last place. Last place. It's just how I thought. I'm like, how would they send them there? By train? Or, you didn't like that one, you're not going to like this one. Like, what kind of games do they play there? Concentration? I don't know. I'm not making fun, I'm just asking questions. Yeah, that's a question. I mean, that would be like me buying a one-way ticket on a blacks-only cruise. Like, oh man, look at this ship. They got shuffleboards, got a slide right there, man, got a pool that no one's ever gonna swim in. But where the fuck are we going? Or a white guy at a Native American yard sale. He's like, look, I got it, I understand. You got teepees and you got your arrowheads and your bows and all, but how much for the actual yard? A couple of disease blankets maybe, some genocide on there. My shit's historically accurate, I don't care if you didn't know. Well, we recently re-elected President Obama. I don't care if you voted for him, I don't give a shit. But that whole process was just long. It was just long. It got to the point to where it was like watching 2 fat people fucking. It wouldn't hold 100% of my attention, but I would peek my head up every now and then to see what was going on. And my Republican friends, aka white friends, they were mad at me because they keep thinking I only voted for the man because he was black. They're like, you only voted because he's black. I'm like, look, man, that's offensive to me, man. I follow politics. I know what's going on in the world. That's offensive for you to even think that way. I voted for him because he's half black. See, this country is not ready for a 100% black president. Just not ready for it at all. But when we do on that glorious day, we're going to vote in the darkest, blackest person you've ever seen. He's going to be 12:30 a.m. black. That's how black he's going to be. So black he pisses coffee. I got one more. He's going to be so black that even his sperm can't swim. That's how black and rich his skin is going to be, you know. But the other reason why I voted for him, for all the people that are in interracial relationships. Because, you know, now you have something to say when someone giving you shit. You know, you're walking down the street and all, and someone says, oh, look at him. Oh, I can't stand him with that white woman over there. You're like, shut up, bitch. I'm making future presidents over here. You're like, oh, I'm sorry. Si se puede. Si se puede. But the Republicans kind of made it easy for him. You know what I'm saying? Like that one congressman with the legitimate rape statement. I don't know if you remember this or heard it, but this cat said that a woman couldn't get pregnant and a legitimate rape as opposed to an illegitimate rape. I don't know, maybe she just lays there and takes it or whatever, because her vagina would prevent the pregnancy from occurring. But that wasn't the stupid part. The stupid part was he said his doctor friends told him this. This is true. What the fuck doctor would tell you this? Like Dr. Pepper or Dr. J or Lucy from the Peanuts, or he had a rug doctor. He's like, hey, rug doctor, what do you think about legitimate rape? Well, Congressman, I think legitimate rape, she can't keep a baby in there if she's legitimately raped, right? You get. Look, man, I'm not a doctor, not claiming to be, but I played many hours of operation and have never touched the sides. Never. I'm just like that. But it got me to thinking, what if it's true? What if a woman couldn't get pregnant because her vagina gets all tensed up? She gets angry vagina syndrome, like, and go, pew, pew, just shoots down all the sperm, and go, pew, and no baby happens, you know? I wish I had known that 4 kids ago, because I would have done something. Anything does. Just pew, just shoot down, like right in the middle, like right at the end of making love or whatever, you know, right before the climax, I'll be like, hey, our bellies are touching. Did you gain weight? Or that would tense her up. Or punch her in the titty or something. Anything to offset the baby, whatever. Look, my name is Mike G. I had a very good time up here. You can find me on Facebook, Chocolate Bear Hug. Thank you.
Well, I don't know if you're like me, but I watch a lot of TV, and recently I saw a commercial for the first response pregnancy test. Have you guys seen this commercial? It says, how would you like to know you're pregnant the moment it happens? And I thought, well, that would sure ruin a good buzz. Am I right, ladies? It'd be like, you're pregnant, and I'd be like, damn it, get out of the car. And take your brother with you. My mother called around the holidays asking me for stocking stuffer ideas, so I told her condoms. I can never have enough of those. Condoms are expensive for something you only use once. Or twice in a pinch. My mom wants grandkids really bad, so she said she was going to poke holes in all the condoms that she puts in my stocking, which left me with no choice but to re-gift those. I've done some crazy things over the years, and I've learned that I can pretty much get away with any crazy thing I do just by saying it was my birthday when I did it, even though it is my birthday. I did get pulled over for speeding, and I ended up getting naked with the officer, and then I stole his uniform, but it was my birthday. I was just having a little fun on Facebook. I decided to check myself in at a swingers convention, and then I tagged my ex and his wife. She teaches at a Christian school. I'm sure they're forgiving. It was my birthday. You know, dating is tough these days. If you're out there dating, it really sucks. You gotta be open-minded. You gotta be ready to try new things. And I was seeing this guy, and we decided to do a little role-playing. So I was like, here, put on this uniform and pretend that you're a cop. And he said, okay. And you put on this blonde wig and pretend that you're your friend Amy. And I was like, I don't really think that's the way this is supposed to work. And then he said, how did you get my brother's uniform? And I was like, you know what, give me the wig, I'm gonna play along. So I put on the wig, and he came over, and he started trying to undress me, and I was like, oh no, Amy doesn't do that this early in a relationship. So then he thought he'd be a smartass, and he was like, well then why don't you just blow me? And I said, no, Amy doesn't do that ever. So we didn't role play anymore after that, but I did hear that Amy's boyfriend went out and bought her a wig and asked her to do a little role playing as her friend Tanya after he saw my act. He also called to thank me for all the condoms that I gave her for Christmas. You know, like I said, dating is tough, and I was out with this other guy, but we were having a really great time, so we decided to go back to his place, and I felt it was time. We'd been out on 6 or 7, or it was our first date. I don't remember who was counting, but I was so excited to go back to his place because his parents weren't going to be home. So I'm in his room, and as I'm sitting on the top bunk, I couldn't help but notice there was a condom wrapper already in the garbage, and I was thinking, oh great, this guy's probably a player, it's probably a bad idea for me to be here. But then at second glance I realized it was a Magnum wrapper. Exactly. Well, now I was kind of stuck between a rock and a big dick, and I had no choice but to stay now because I was just curious. You know, the only thing more impressive than his big dick was the way his little brother stayed asleep on the bottom bunk the entire time. That kid can sleep through anything. Well, I decided he was a keeper after that night, so we continued to date. And we were in bed one night, and he said those 3 words every girl really doesn't want to hear. Ladies, you probably know where I'm going with this. It's a new relationship. You're just not sure how you feel about him yet. You're sharing a special moment, and then he's got to go and say those 3 words. Yep, he said it. Who's your daddy? Honest to God, he said it, and I was thinking, if only I knew his dad's name right now, I could say it. And he'd be like, what? No, that's my dad's name. Who's your daddy? And I'd be like, he's your dad too? See, that's something else we have in common. I was at a concert recently with some girlfriends, and this guy came up to us, and guys, I get it. It takes some balls for a guy to approach 3 girls at the bar, but here's where he went wrong. He asked if we had had dinner prior to the show. Fellas, in case you're not aware, this is not the universal sign for having dinner. So I politely showed him this might be more appropriate, and then he got all upset and said I was making it dirty, and that's not how he meant it. And then he gave me the universal sign for have a nice day as he walked away. So if you're in the bar parking lot and you happen to see me having dinner in my car, just remember to wish me a happy birthday. You guys have been a lot of fun. I'm Tanya Murray. Thanks so much.
A lot of disasters going on, earthquakes, bombings, explosions. I've seen a lot of people on Facebook sending their thoughts and prayers out to the different things that have happened, thoughts and prayers to the people of blah, blah, blah. Well, that's all well and good. I think it's also pretty cool that we don't have to say where our thoughts and our prayers are going at all times. Like my thoughts and prayers are with my girlfriend right now, that she's not pregnant. My thoughts and prayers are with my grandmother, that she makes it through this illness. But if she doesn't, I pray that I get a huge, huge inheritance. My thoughts and prayers are with the 22-year-old girl with the super tight yoga pants I saw in Meyer that I followed for an inordinate amount of time. Praying that she needs somebody to judge which bikini fits her the best. Not always appropriate thoughts and prayers. Went on a date. We went to an Italian restaurant, and there was a guy walking around playing an accordion for all the people eating. And now that's a pretty shitty job for someone to have, because that guy got the same 2 requests the whole night. That's amore, and shut the fuck up. Felt bad for the guy. Appreciate my job, I like it. I work in a big corporation. Part of my job is I work with people in China. I email with people in China. And one thing I learned when I started working with the people is that they all pick an English name when they start working with English-speaking companies. Most of them pick from a normal list of names, but some of them Some of them don't. They apparently were given the wrong list. There's a lady that goes by Shiny. Someone that goes by Actual. Got an email from Fish a couple days ago. These are real. I'm not making these up. There's also a lady that goes by Swallow, in reference to the bird, I found out. But there's also a lady named Bonnie Dawn. And someday I'm going to convince Swallow and Bonnie to switch names because I'm 12 years old. And I find that funny. Well, my favorite name of all time for the people I work with in China is Shania Wang. I just picture her singing, "Man, I feel like a woman." I'm going out tonight, I'm feeling alright. Been doing a lot of growing up lately, as you can tell. I think the best example of that is when I was younger and I would meet a girl, the first thing I would look at was her boobs. But now that I'm older and more mature, the first thing I look at are her breasts. It's a big step for me. I'm doing well with that. I went to a funeral a couple days ago, and it was kind of a bummer because the music was terrible. Made me realize that this guy was not prepared when he died for a playlist at his funeral, and it made me realize that I want to start picking songs to play at my funeral, but I want to be a little bit more creative. I want them to be in reference to how I passed on. So I'd like to read a list, a couple of songs I've chosen. Let's see here. If I die in a fire, I want to play the song that has "We Don't Need No Water, Let the Motherfucker Burn." If I drown, I'd like the song "Holy Diver." I don't know. If I'm somehow squeezed to death, I'd like the song "Under Pressure." If I'm hit by a car, "Crosstown Traffic." And if I die by asphyxiation by a larger girl sitting on my face, "Fat-Bottomed Girls." Thank you guys very much. My name is Andy Bledsoe. Have a wonderful evening.
All right, this is for all the stalkers in the house. We have a stalker song. It's called Tuesday. It goes like this. All right, it goes like this. I'm starting right now. Here we go. Tuesdays when I saw her, she was walking down 3rd Street. Wednesdays when I finally found out where she buys her meat. Thursdays when she laughed at me and said thank you for the light. Thank you. Fridays when I watched her sleeping and she looked so surprised. I couldn't believe it was happening to me. I'm lying with my baby, I'm looking to my baby's eyes. I wanna be, can I be anything she might like? Hey, who are you? Help, get out of my room. I jumped out of the window like a shot out of a gun. Must have made a big mistake, cause she was not the one. Now she dreams of whales and puppy dog tails and beaches full of sand. And every time I see her walk by, it's like peaches in my hand. I couldn't believe it was happening again. I'm looking in the window, peeking through Venetian blinds. I need to find in my mind something that can make her mine. Hey, stop watching me leave. I'm calling the police.
That's what I'm talking about.
Ooh yeah, ponytail. Tuesdays when I saw her, she was walking down the street. Wednesdays when I finally found out where she buys her meat. when she laughed at me and said thank you for the light.
Thank you.
Fridays when I watched her sleeping and she looked so surprised. I couldn't believe it was happening to me. I'm out with my baby, I'm looking to my baby's eyes. I wanna be, can I be anything she might like? Hey, who are you? Help, get out of my room. Hey, stop watching me live. I'm calling the feeling. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. We're fish lips out of Kalamazoo. You guys want to hear a joke my wife hates? Yeah. Me too. They say, if you love something, set it free. Apparently, my ass loves farts. She hates that joke, she hates it, and I know this because I tried to workshop it with her. I said that joke, it came to me, and she said, that's stupid. And I was like, all right, well, let's try it like this. What if it rhymes? What if my ass loves gas? And she's like, that's even more stupid. And like, it didn't really go, like, my wife doesn't sound like an effeminate gay man, but the only other voice I can do is a strip club DJ. So, if that conversation happened, it would have been, my ass loves gas. That joke was stupid. It didn't work at all. But you know what does work? Amber. She works hard for her money. And she thought that was stupid also. The joke was shitty. Sorry, guys. I just got back from vacation in Iowa, and boy, is my nothing tired. There's shit to do in Iowa. Nothing. Nothing at all. Apparently, Iowa has the world's largest truck stop. Anyone aware of this? Up until this point, I just thought Iowa was the world's largest truck stop. So in the world's largest truck stop, they have a buffet, right? It's the world's loneliest buffet. Like, you can eat the buffet at a bar facing a wall by yourself. Just lonesome and fat and terrible. Like, they don't want there to be any nice things or flashy colors, because these guys drive industry. They get on the road and they do stuff. You start giving them options or feelings, and now all of a sudden everything breaks down. And like, there's a bathroom, of course, at the truck stop in the buffet area there, and on the wall somebody had a brilliant idea. We're at the world's largest truck stop, so we'll start putting things up on the wall in the bathroom. The world's largest whatever, like the world's largest cherry pie was baked in Traverse City in 1986. Great, they mentioned Michigan in the bathroom of a truck stop in Iowa. For a second I was proud, and then I realized where I was. Damn it. And they've got other things up there, you know, like the world's largest cheesecake was baked in whatever thing, just different stuff, world's largest whatever. Well, the problem was, I don't know who thought of this, but as I'm standing at the urinal, I look up, and here's the big placard that says, the world's largest hot dog was made in Atlanta, Georgia in 1996, as I'm holding my dick. And I'm like, I'm even more depressed now. This is the world's largest hot dog. It tells in great detail how much smaller that was. And not a single one of the signs happened to mention the world's largest shit that the guy next to me was taking in the stall. That was the best part of Iowa. I don't recommend it at all. So I don't know if you guys noticed this, but I'm a bit of a fat guy. No? And I've decided to start trying things to fix that. I joined a Twitter group, it's called Tweet What You Eat. But I had to quit because I couldn't fit it all in 120 characters. And that was lunch, so it's not working out for me. I started poking around on the internet trying to find out things I can do to help myself. I started looking at this thing, it's called your BMI. And it kind of gives you an idea of where you're supposed to be, based on your height. Based on my height, I should be somewhere between 125 and 150 pounds. And that's just never gonna happen, ever. Like, the idea of exercise is so foreign to me, I wasn't even sure how to spell it when I wrote it down for this joke. There's like an extra C or an X in there, I don't even know. It's completely out of the question. So what I decided to do was start to go the other direction and sort of tip the scales the other way. Maybe that's a little bit easier. So for my weight, I should be about 9.5 feet tall. So I've been working on that. I've been trying to do things to get taller. I don't know, like watching basketball, looking at trees. I've been snorting Extends, which does not work at all.
I hated dating. I'm married. I've been married for about 8 years now, and I love it because I hated dating because people are fucking crazy. And there's no way to tell they're crazy, right? There's no uniform that they wear that says, like, I'm going to be a really clingy girlfriend that goes through your cell phone every time you take a shower, right? There's no... Girls don't wear a t-shirt that say that. There's no uniform for a guy who's going to think you're an intruder in the middle of the night and shoot you through the bathroom door 18 times. I mean, that happens, though. It takes a minute. You gotta put your legs on and crawl out of bed and do it. But well, I didn't do it, all right? I'm just talking about it. It happened in the news, and I'm comments. It's not like I did that and I'm up here confessing, all right? I didn't like dating, though. You can't tell. People are just nuts. It's just like, you walk into a room and you're like, is that gas? Do I smell gas? And you should leave, right? But you keep asking that question and you're lighting matches, throwing them around, just waiting for the crazy to explode all over you. And it's nuts, too. I went on a date with a girl one time. We went to see a movie, and after the movie she said, do you not like me anymore? I said, what the hell are you talking about? She goes, you didn't say a word to me for the whole movie. I was like, I'm gonna go get the car. And then I left. Listen, I just said I was getting the car. I didn't say I was coming back for you. Figure it out if I like you now. It's like a relationship scavenger hunt. Yeah, figure it out. Here's how you can tell if people are crazy, though. I figured it out. Here's how you can tell. Guys or girls, it works for both. 1 cat normal, 2 cats crazy. 2 cats are above, they're nuts. The other people that aren't laughing right now are people that have more than 2 cats. You're like, fuck you, my cats are intelligent. You've given your cats or your animals surnames, or even crazier. If you have like a Mr. Bojangles cat, yeah. There's bodies in your attic. There are bodies up there. I've trained my animals to use the toilet. That's because you don't interact with people anymore, so you're training animals to do people things. Just go out into public and brush up against people. Stop adopting animals. You're off the charts. If they have a bird, that should be like a coal mine. Just get the hell out. The bird is dead. The air is not breathable. Get out. Here's why. Because if they're going to take an animal like a bird with the awesome power of flight and say, fuck you, bird, you're not going to fly anywhere anymore. I'm putting you in a cage. How open do you think that relationship's going to be? You think you're still going to hang out with your buddies? First text message on your phone, they don't understand. You're getting love knifed. I love you so much. 3 weeks in, you're in a cage. She's telling you to put the lotion on your skin, and you don't know how it got to this. There was a bird in the room. Get out. That's how you tell. That's how you know.